What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TNC Reacts. Today is Monday Motivations, and this is for all the fathers out there. I want you to understand that you are important. Now, the reason I'm actually talking about this is because for some reason, a lot of us have tricked ourselves into thinking that we're not important in our children's lives from early on up until adulthood. You know, a lot of them think, well, when they become an adult, we'll handle things or hash it out there, whether we're disappearing because dealing with the mother might be hectic or, financial issues, whatever it is. You got to stop tricking yourself into thinking that you can do those type of things and it does not affect the child. You have to understand how important you are, how powerful you are when it comes to your offspring. Male or female doesn't matter. You know what I mean? The daughters, you become the first man that she'll ever love. So your behaviors and the way you treat her helps her understand how men should actually treat her. Now, if you want to be a jerk, distant, all of these other things, then she'll just settle for anything. From a dude who just says hi. She'll fall in love with these people because she has no level to compare it to. You know, it's a lot of ain't-ish dirtbags that'll tell the female they love them when they really don't. And these women fall for it because they didn't have a dad that told them that they loved them. You know, you have sons who can't pick up certain mannerisms or learn to function as a man because they're not watching one be one. You know, or giving them life advice that they will actually take and learn and hold on to for the rest of their days because they learned it from you. That's how important you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from actual experience. I've been in those situations where my father would say something and I still hold it on till today. You know, I can name off stuff. Never let somebody within your arm's reach, because that's a safety measure. You know what I mean? Keep them at arm's length. The style in which he lifted weights, that stuff, hung on. And, a lot of times I think with men, because we're told we're not important, we believe it on every playing field, whether it's work, whether it's love life, or when we're raising our own kids, we're treated as like we don't know nothing when it comes to kids. Like we have no paternal instincts whatsoever. Only the women do. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the lie was created. And it's starting to resonate more and more as to why men are not showing up at times. But you have to understand how important your words are, how important you are to your kids, and that you can actually be the defining factor into what they become as adults. It's statistically proven that most people that are in jail are because there was no father in the household. Majority of them. Now, you're not saying that's across the board, like, oh man, every household is like that. No, there's people that got 2-family households and they still go to prison. It just happens like that. But the likelihood of them not going to prison is way higher when you have a father involved in the household. Just keeping it real. And your daughters, more than likely you keep them off the pole because you gave them more hugs. You taught them stuff about work, just like the mother would. It's a balance thing. You got both sides to help grow cohesive children that are probably not dysfunctional. It's so many things that you'll actually notice when you're involved with your kids, how much it actually impacts their lives and how helpful it can be. You be watching, I see some of these kids out here nowadays, just anxiety through the roof. They be suffering. I'm like, what is going on? Is it in the water or what? Like, why are they so sensitive? But it's because they never had somebody say, get up. Why you keep falling? Get up. Instead, they just, oh, baby, it's the end of the world. And they start to take on that mentality. They don't have that strong figure to admire to, you know what I mean? Like, I thought my father was Superman. I saw this dude's leg get ripped open and all he did was laugh while he was getting alcohol peroxide something put on and he just laughing. Oh man, it ain't nothing. Back then, if I had never seen that, there's no telling how many times I would have screamed under an injury just because. But I watched this guy be like a superhuman. So, it made me adapt and try to understand how I should respond in certain situations. That's why you have to understand why you're important in a household, why you need to be there. Not these, oh man, he's a deadbeat, he was never around, all of this, and we try to give these explanations later. You know, instead of waiting until later, you have to be very for I don't even know the word for it, but you need to put foot to gas and the pedal to the metal to do whatever you need to be in your kids' lives, because I'm telling you, your presence will be such an important thing for them later on in life. Trust what I'm saying. But let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Am I just talking noise, or do you actually resonate with that information? But be on the lookout for more videos. All right, everybody? Peace.